Hello students, today our topic of discussion is disturbance rejection, robustness and sensitivity with respect to control system. Now we know that in any system we are affected by several types of disturbances. Now in control system, what will be the measures, what are the measures we can take so as to minimize the disturbance? We will discuss it today. Suppose in this system there is a plant. There is a plant transfer function. This is a controller. I am changing all of them into Laplace domain, okay, for my then I don't need to draw it again, though they are in small alphabet, still I am writing them in terms of, okay. So GS is the plant transfer function and CS is the controller transfer function. We are getting the actual input to the system is RS, but along with the input some disturbances are also injected in the system. So naturally these inputs, along with these inputs, the disturbances are coming as input to the system, obviously will affect the output performance of the system. Now as we are learning linear system, linear control, naturally we know that in linear control by it follows superposition theorem, and in case of superposition theorem, if more than one inputs are present, we need to consider one by one, considering the other, assuming the other input to be 0, we have to consider one by one. That means when we will consider, and then we have to combine the effect to get the overall responses of two inputs. So here one input is my actual input, another is my disturbance. It is also acting as an input. So now if I want to get the output due to this disturbance signal, so what shall I do? I will make this input, actual input, inoperative. Okay, so if I do that, so this is my input and this is my output. Now I will not take this, signal, and if I draw again, it will look like this. If I draw again, as there will be no signal, no need of summaries there. So what is happening? We know the feed forward path is always in between input and output. So here which is the input? Input is the disturbance signal. This is the input because we are making these are inoperative. Okay. So as we are making this R inoperative, naturally the output YS and the input is DS. So feed forward path is only between DS to YS. So what is the feed forward transfer function? The feed forward transfer function is only my GS. Okay. So the feed forward transfer function will only the GS. GS will be the feed forward transfer function, and the input to it is coming to the summer. This is DS, and another one is US. Okay, so US is coming from here. So this whole thing will become in the feedback path. So from YS, this YS, as this signal is negative, so ES will become my negative. So I can take that this signal, as there is no two signal present, now I can take off this summer, but there is a minus sign, I have to take it into account. So the ys is coming to a minus 1, I can consider it like this, and this minus 1 is going to the cs, so it is going to cs. This is in the feedback path and it is actually coming to the summer, so this is also plus. So it is basically a, what type of input it is? It is basically a feedback loop. Okay, here I have to consider one thing. Generally we as these ds, one thing, it is not, as I have collected it from the what should I say, from the internet, I will take this as minus. Okay, that it will help me to make you understand. This is a negative input coming, so this ds is minus, this is my plus. So this is my overall system now. This is my overall system now. Now what is going to happen? The thing is that here there is no h's. There is no h's. If I assume as I am going to write a generalized expression, I should assume a h's over here. So if I assume a h's, naturally here also I need to write a h's here. Okay, so just let me correct this figure, because I need to write a I want to write a generalized expression. So that's why I am taking, because here there is a h's, but that h's is equal to 1. That is a special case. That's why, as I have taken the image from the internet, naturally the minus 1 will be here and there is a h's term. Okay. So this is my transfer function. This is the system now. Now if I want to get the relation between this ys and ds, the disturbance. So if I want to get the relation between ys and ds, what is going to happen? This is the feedback path. So what is actually coming? This is like the feed forward path. The feed forward path I am getting is only gs, right? And the feedback path I am getting is cs into hs into minus 1. So it is minus of cs into hs. Okay. So this is basically my feedback element. This is my feed forward path element, and my input is ds, my output is ys. So if I write the expression gs, what will it be? You can understand that basically it is also a negative feedback. It is also a negative feedback. Why? Because this summer you can omit this, and you can also take it as minus. Okay, so that's why we will apply the formula like gs. Now gs is also, there is a negative sign, so we will put a negative sign before gs. gs upon 1 minus 1 plus gshs. 1 plus gshs means this will be gs. And what is hs? hs is cs into hs. So it will be cs into hs. Okay. So this is my output. This is my transfer function. Now from here, what will be the output due to this disturbance? I should write this output when the y is inoperative. I am writing it as yd. It should be written as yd, okay, because output due to disturbance. So output due to disturbance is actually, I am getting it as same thing, gs by 1 plus gs cs hs into this disturbance ds. Okay. So now eventually it definitely become that this feedback element gs, this element into this and this, generally if they are more than 1, if they are more than 1, that means if this gs into cs into hs, if they are much greater than 1, we can neglect the value of 1, and then the output due to disturbance will become, it will be the disturbance signal itself divided by the disturbance signal itself divided by cs into hs. That means if this disturbance signal, effect of the disturbance signal is lessened, reduced, because this will give you a fraction which is less than 1. Okay, so it is less than 1 because cs and hs is greater than 1. Naturally this is less than 1, this is less than, that means if it is not a feedback signal, if there is no feedback present, the disturbance can affect the output much more. But as there is a element which is present in the feedback, that is this hs, so feedback path is making the signal disturbance, magnitude of disturbance, it is reducing. So that means to reject disturbance of a system, you need to incorporate feedback path. Okay, so that is the idea how to reject disturbance in a system. So what we have to do, always we will take the closed loop the closed loop system. The closed loop system will have a lesser effect of disturbance than a open loop system. Okay. So the next thing what we are going to discuss is robustness and sensitivity. This is also very important. So what is robustness? The robustness actually refers to the ability of the control system to withstand parameter variation. So if there is a, definitely if there is parameter variation, for several reasons parameter can vary. You know, when current flows through a conductor due to heating, naturally the conduction also changes, naturally flow of current changes. This thing happens. So naturally, so with respect to time, due to aging, for different reasons, due to stray magnetic effect, due to different ambient condition, the parameter of a system may vary. Okay. Now if we can able to reduce the parameter variation of a system or a plant, and we can able to maintain still the stability, and we can able to get the good performance from the system, then it will be said to be a robust system. Okay. So the robustness refers to the ability of a control system to withstand parameter variation in the plant transfer function and still maintain the stability and performance goals. So this is robustness. Now how we will measure robustness? Robustness is actually measured with the help of a term sensitivity. Okay, so for sensitivity, sensitivity has a definition for closed loop system. So if less sensitive system should be more robust, that is the point. So so robustness and sensitivity is inversely proportional. Naturally we will discuss and we measure robustness in with help of sensitivity. So first we will learn what is sensitivity. So sensitivity, so the topic is sensitivity. So if I have a open loop system or open loop system is like if I have, there is no feedback path, so there is only one path, that is the input is there and the output is here. So suppose this system is GS. So if this system has parameter variation due to any reason, due to heating, due to aging or anything else, suppose this parameter G S is now becoming GS plus a change in parameter delta GS appeared here. Okay, so the transfer function becomes GS plus delta GS. So if I want to get the output, what will be the output? The output due to parameter variation, will now be changed. So it will be, we know CS basically when there was no parameter variation, the output CS was RS into GS. Now when there is a parameter variation, then C1, suppose C1 or C new is becoming what it will be? It will be RS with the new parameter GS plus delta GS. Okay, so now it is becoming RS into GS plus RS delta GS, right? So now what is the change in output? Initially output was this. So this is my previous output CS. This was my previous output CS. Now there is an additional part RS to delta GS. So the difference between C new S minus the previous output we are getting, it is input into change in parameter. Okay, so this we can write as change in output. So I can write it as change in output, that is becoming RS into delta GS. So for a system which doesn't have any loop attached to it, we will get the change in parameter will be effect like this. Now if I consider, if I take the same system and if I put a feedback with it, then what is going to happen? Just see. So if this is my system and this is the input, I am taking this, and this is my output. I am taking a feedback path, a negative feedback with it. Okay. So naturally now for this closed loop system, the output will, we know that it will be GS upon 1 plus GS into HS. This we know, right? Now if here the parameter changes, what is going to happen? if there is a parameter changes, so it will be GS plus delta GS. So naturally similarly new output after parameter variation, due to parameter variation, the output is becoming GS plus delta GS divided by 1 plus GS plus delta GS into HS, right? So that means if I just simplify this part, what I am getting that it is GS by 1 plus GS to HS plus delta GS into HS, and I am also getting that this part is there, so it is basically 1 plus delta, right? Now if I want to get the change in output, I need the previous value of output. So change in output, there is a parameter variation in output. When there is a parameter variation, there was no parameter variation, so there is a change in output. So change in output will become GS plus, I am writing it here because it will take me lesser time, or I am going to the next slide because so change in output will be definitely C nu S minus CS. So this C nu S was GS plus delta GS divided by 1 plus GS into HS plus delta GS into HS, and this CS will be GS by 1 plus GS into HS, right? So if we take that this part, because this part is GSHS, okay, and this part, the very small, this variation, definitely it will be not a very large amount, definitely any variation will be a smaller amount. So if this variation, if we consider this variation as a comparatively lesser value with respect to this part GSHS, so we can neglect this part, okay, and if we neglect this part, we can write, if we neglect this part, we can write that okay, sorry, I have written something wrong. It should be, there will be an input, and here also there will be a input term. There will be an input term everywhere, okay. So naturally it will be, here also there will be a input term of RS, and here also there will be the input term of RS, because it is output. I am taking the transfer functions only. Okay. So if I neglect this part, I am getting that it is becoming GS plus delta GS into RS divided by 1 plus GS into HS. Neglecting the smaller fraction with respect to this one, I am getting this. So it will be nearly equal to, okay, and this is GS into RS by 1 plus GSHS. Now what is becoming? We are getting, from here we are getting only this term remains. Right. So only this term remains. Now from here there comes the definition of sensitivity. So what is the sensitivity? The definition of sensitivity we can write, if I write in terms of formula like the closed loop transfer function, we generally write the closed loop transfer function with T. So this will be the closed loop transfer function Ts with respect to the closed loop, change in closed loop transfer function with respect to closed loop transfer function divided by change in feed forward path transfer function with respect to the original feed forward transfer function. So this is the formula of sensitivity. From this formula of sensitivity, what we are going to do, we will get the derivative of these things we have to calculate. Okay, so from here I can write that sensitivity T and G can be written as delta T by delta GS into this GS will go up, GS by TS. Okay, now what we have to do? We will take del by delta GS. Now what is TS? TS is GS by 1 plus GS into HS. This is my TS. Okay, and this will be GS divided by GS by 1 plus GS into HS. Okay, so from here if you deduce or simplify the whole thing, you will find that this will be 1 by GSHS whole square, right? This term will come here, and then this GS will be 1. So next is GSHS, GS into 1 plus GSHS. So GS is 1, so HS is remaining. So this is GS into HS. Okay, and from the next part this will cancel out. So the remaining is 1 plus GS into HS. So this is the whole thing, and if you simplify it, you will get it is becoming 1 by 1 plus GS into HS. So this is the sensitivity due to parameter variation of feed forward path. So what we are getting? We are getting that in case of the previous value, when there was an open loop system, the sensitivity was becoming 1. Okay, when there is an open loop system, the sensitivity, whatever be the change, whole change is reflected in the system. Whereas when we are going for a closed loop system, due to the feedback path, the sensitivity reduces, and this sensitivity is less than 1. So feedback will definitely reduce the sensitivity of a feed system. That means it will improve the robustness of the system. Okay, so now if this sensitivity, this we have take the derivative with respect to the feed forward path. Now if I take the want to calculate the sensitivity with respect to feedback element, then what is going to happen? Just same thing we will do with respect to the feedback path. So that means the feedback path, if I write the sensitivity in terms of feedback, okay. So here also change in Ts by Ts, and now here the change will be in terms of feedback element. So this Hs by Hs. So if I write it properly, it is becoming Ts by Hs, Hs, and it will be Hs upon Ts, right? Now naturally, what is Ts, what is Hs, we all know. So this is change in Hs, and what is Ts? Ts is Gs upon 1 plus Gs into Hs. Next, what is Hs? Write Hs whatever it is, and Ts is Gs by 1 plus Gs into Hs. Now if you solve it, you will find that it is becoming minus Gs, the final. I am just skipping this part because I guess you can be able to do this by your own. So the final answer I am writing, and this will be Gs into Hs divided by 1 plus GSHs. So if there is a feedback element, if you take the sensitivity with respect to feedback element, so what you are getting? We are getting that definitely the value of GSHs, we always consider the value of GSHs is always greater than 1. Okay. Then what it will be? If it is greater than 1, naturally the sensitivity is becoming, so STH is becoming tending to 1. It is becoming almost 1. So therefore the changes, we can able to understand that the changes in the feedback element affect the system output. So from as that means it is more sensitive. Though there is a feedback, still in the feed forward path we found that due to feedback the sensitivity of the feed forward system, the feed forward path system, it reduces. But what we are getting, that the element which is in the feedback path, there is a probability of affect the system output very much if it changes. If it changes, if the parameter variation happens in Hs, the system output will be affected. That is why it is essential to use these feedback elements which will not vary with the change of external condition. As this we are getting that this part is about to 1, that means the change of feedback element is should not be there. If it changes, then the system, the output will be very much affected. So the note is that, what is the observation what we get, that the measuring feedback element, the feedback element should not vary with the change in external condition. Okay, so it is very important. Generally, GS, what are GS? GS are the system, that is there the power elements of the system, whereas the feedback path is always made up of measuring elements. Okay, so now what is the thing? The measuring elements, they operate at low power level, therefore the cost of making use of accurate measuring element, which is much less than that of the feed forward element. So generally the costing of this HS is less. Naturally we should use such measuring element which will not vary with respect to external condition, because otherwise the system performance may vary and robustness will reduce. So this is basically today the topic of discussion about system robustness, sensitivity and disturbance rejection. Hope you understand. Thank you for your patience hearing.